Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry to make this video. It's a little bit of a bummer for me, but I have canceled the trip to Borneo. It sort of got rolling. As a matter of fact, I spent a few days like meticulously going through the trike and disassembling it and folding it up. And I went to a few shipping agencies and I was like trying to find like packing material. Annie went online and bought some foam blocks to sort of block the components in the box that we were going to send it in. 2 boxes actually, and it was so expensive. Annie ended up buying a piece of foam. It was about this big, and it cost like $25 or something. It was only like this thick. She's like, "This is crazy." Yeah, it was crazy, but I ended up going to a place around me called the Foam Factory, which is a wholesaler distributor of foam and packing products. I bought some sheets of foam. We were starting to lay things out, and I also was working with Asia to try to see if maybe they could use their FedEx account to ship the trike to Borneo, and that was sort of in the works, and I was sort of waiting for those things to kind of come through. Then I got contacted from a company called Detroit Woodworking, who is in very, very close to me, that I was using as a company that could help me to cut the wood in order to build my interior. If you guys know, I'm building a van. I'm trying to make it into a traveling tool that I can use to carry my trike and all of my video equipment and sort of adventure around North and South America, hopefully Europe, and maybe even more, and use it as a tool for travel and fun and storytelling. I have received a lot of components from different companies involved in the building of a van. And a lot of those companies gave me discounts. Some of them gave me free components, and other of them just sold me components. But I sort of like told them, you know, I really like your products, and eventually I'll be on the road traveling with the van, especially going to events and venues regarding van life, and they can use my van as a demo to sort of represent the products that I'm installing in the van. And so I had sort of been waiting ever since, I got back from the Czech Republic, I got to the United States. I have been waiting for this company, Detroit Woodworking, to cut the wood. I couldn't really install anything into the cabinets if I didn't have any cabinets. So it was sort of a waiting game. And they were generous enough to say, we'll cut the wood on our machines, which you need like this wood cutting CNC machine in order to decode the data that my van's designs were being edited in by a friend of mine in Portland named Teddy, who did all the design work. Once the cabinets are done, electrical, plumbing, flooring, there's painting and prepping, there's, you know, refrigerators and appliances, there's air conditioning. I mean, it all comes down to where the components are going to nest within the cabinetry, and drilling ports into the bottom of the van, pulling piping back and forth, just, you know, wiring and cabling and all sorts of stuff. And so I was sort of like on the hold for that. They were trying to slot me into time. They were sort of doing this sort of pro bono. And in the meantime, I thought this Borneo trip came up, and I'm like, well, I might as well do this. Right about the time that the Borneo trip started to, I started doing some research on it, and I made my video for you guys. They sort of said, hey, we're ready to fit you in and start producing your cabinetry. And so I went to their facilities, Detroit Woodworking, and I started cutting components out of the 4x8 sheets of plywood for all the different cabinetry inside the van. I also got word from Azeb that utilizing their FedEx account from point C to point D, like their FedEx account is corporate, so like shipping from point A, which is Azeb, to suppliers around the world is sort of what their FedEx account is designed for. And they said it would be prohibitively expensive. You could run into customs delays. And if we treated it like freight, you know, it would just wouldn't work to ship to Borneo, not with us. there was also the idea of me bringing it with me, and I was trying to consolidate it into a small enough box. I actually got it down pretty small, but I don't have much of a concern if I carried the trike, if it was like a single flight, like, from Detroit to Germany or something like that. But this was like, if I wanted to go from Detroit to the Malaysian part of Borneo, it was like multiple points of movement. And it just really makes me nervous shipping the trike in 2 big boxes and all of my gear. It was just a really big headache. And I called my friend Danny and I was like, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to focus February, instead of cycling around Borneo, I'm going to focus on trying to finish up this van, because the van has gone way, way beyond the time that I wanted steps and it to be progress to finish, because there's a lot hinging on it. There's like all these adventures and stuff I want to do with the finished van, but I don't have the van finished yet. So I told him, let's just put our thumbs on Borneo for now. He says he'll go there, take a bunch of pictures, and make me jealous for not going, which I welcome. I watch YouTube these days. It's a lot of me feeling like jealous of people living adventurous lifestyles while I'm here. So I decided to say no to the Borneo trip, and I'm focusing on the cabinets. So they finished all the 3/4 inch plywood, which are some of the major like structural components inside all the different cabinets and chairs and uppers. There's upper cabinets, there's lower cabinets, and different things. And now they're still finishing up the cutting of the 1/2 inch. When they finish, I'll be sanding and coating and painting and assembling and gluing and bradding everything together, and then mounting it into the van, and then starting to go through and like map out exactly where and how the different components are going to lay out. I've been watching a lot of videos these days of van builds, and I'm very nervous. I'm going to make a video in the near future, but I can sum up. I can sum up probably this entire winter as like FOMO, fear of messing up. There's like FOMO, fear of missing out, right? But mine is like FOMO, and this van build has been very unique because it's pulled emotions from me that I never really. I don't like to do things unless I feel like I'm fairly confident in doing them. And so I'm like, I have all of these really high-end components. It's really, really nice setup for this van. Some of the best components that you could install inside of some sort of a van like this. And I'm just so nervous that I'm going to mess it up. And then it'll make the products that I've installed look bad. I could have the best electrical components in the world, but if my work is shoddy on the visuals, it's going to look, it's not going to do justice to the components inside. And so I've sort of like, to be honest, I'd rather do nothing than mess up, and that's really, really a bad thing. Like it's better just to move forward and roll with the punches as they come. But I've been not that way. So the other reason is, in the springtime, I really need to be on the road. I have to finish up the electrical system in Portland and the heating system in Portland. Those companies have committed to helping me to do that. Victron, the electrical company that's doing the components inside the van, has literally told me that is necessity. Like, we are not going to let you finish this van build without us connecting all the dots, connecting all the wires, literally. Because they're like, there's a lot of money invested in the components that we gave you. We want to make sure that you represent the company well, and we want to make sure that we do it for you so that you do, in fact, do it well. And then you can carry on with our components and making us look good as Victron. And I understand it completely. It's welcome, as a matter of fact. So my hope is that I can work on the van through February, build in all the cabinets and everything, lay in all the components, rough wire everything together, at least get everything sort of laid out, drive to Portland, go to the heating company. They can mount all the Eberspacher heater and get the hydronic heating system sort of ready to go. then go to Victron and have them, link everything together, set up the batteries, set up there's like an operating system basically that runs through the whole van, and make sure that that's all going on. There's also a shower pan that was something that I really wanted to get done. It's like a unique in-floor shower pan that was good. So there's a lot of things that need to be done before the beginning of next season. And if I was to leave all of February and maybe even more, like it would be about 5 weeks, by the time I came back, I would be really, really pressing my time schedule to get everything kind of finished. And we have a lot of time. This channel has been stagnating for a while. You guys have seen views go down. Subscribers have sort of tapered a little bit. But all of this that I'm doing right now is sort of infrastructure for the future of this channel, the future of my life, really. And so there's a lot of interesting things in the works. You can't really necessarily see it. You're just seeing like some family stuff, and I'm sort of posting irregularly on this channel. I'm also prepping van content for the new van channel, and I'm trying to make sure that when I really launch these things fully, that I can kind of perpetuate content on all of these places. So I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed that I'm not going to Borneo right now. I am disappointed that I'm not going to Borneo right now. But I think if I can focus on what I really need to get done and what I have like sort of hanging first, then the travels down the road are going to be much more fulfilling and much more interesting and much more valuable to the channel for you to watch. There's still a lot to be done. So shout out to Danny. Thank you very much for the invite. I apologize I'm not going. I apologize to some of the friends out there who were expecting me in Borneo who said that they'd like to see me. But I will be doing some content on this channel with regards to like sort of the daily life stuff that I'm building the van. But I'll also be doing more like specific van related videos on the van life channel. So all of that stuff. It's been said. So I wanted to get this out because, I mean, we're closing on the end of the month, and you guys, if I was going to Borneo, I would be getting ready to go like as we speak. And I have been getting ready to go. It was literally like a switch flipped, and I ended up sitting down with Annie, and I was like, this is what I have going on. This is the potentials that I have. These are the positives and negatives of going on this trip and doing this other thing. And Borneo is always going to be there. But I do have to finish this. It's just sitting in the driveway, and it's not finished. And right now it's not serving a purpose. And maybe it's that lack of purpose on some big project that I've had like on my eye on for so long that is sort of making me sort of in a funk. And so a means to an end is getting this cabinetry started, because if I can get that, maybe I can get some momentum and really wrap up this project the way that I want. So thank you so much, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Yeah, bye.